So I'd like to share on something that's my opinion based on what I've seen, my observation. I'm going to focus on Indigenous First Nations people in this talk. And it's not across the board, but it's pretty much bang on as far as I'm concerned. Like I see a lot of our people, First Nations people, struggling heavily with addictions and spiritual malady. And I see a lot of like other races, white people and other races struggle with addictions and spiritual malady also. And then when you get each race into a recovery program, let's say like our recovery program, the 12-step program, why is it that most First Nations people can't stay sober and they can't get the long-term sobriety? And I'm not saying all, but I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of alcoholics and addicts firsthand, straight up. I go to thousands and thousands of events where I see people. And my observation is that First Nations people have a really hard time getting sober and staying sober. Why is that? When the other races can come in and their success rate is much higher. Well, my belief is it's because the deep-rooted trauma is so great that it's so hard to get into the subconscious and dig that shit out. And I talk about a lot of this trauma is transferred generationally, even through the cellular structure and cellular memory of the cells in the body. It just doesn't come out. But I think our recovery program, based on every recovery program out there, we have a process where you clean the house, where you get pretty deep into this trauma stuff. And we're able to extract a lot of it and kind of get the top layers of it off so that the person has a really good chance. And that's why some of these other races, I believe, are so successful at getting sober and staying sober. Because the depth of the trauma with most people isn't to the depth that it is with First Nations people. My vision is to try to help our people get into this and get that top layer off and work something so they can keep digging and learn how to grieve and learn how to find out what's really fundamentally wrong. And I believe a lot of it is the belief systems and the spiritual malady. And that's what I'm here to try to expose, man. It's not so much mental health, and no disrespect to the mental health advocates, because it's a very real thing. But I believe the spiritual malady is the most important thing to focus on. And it's kind of a complex topic, but that's what I have in a nutshell.